It's been 15 days since I posted a video on this channel, and a lot of you all reached out to me to make sure everything was okay. And I want to tell you guys, I really appreciate that. It means more than you even know. But while I was away, I did get some time to get some clarity to really reassess how I'm going to move forward in this space and how I can have the most positive impact as possible. I want to help people go to their next level and really achieve those things that they've always desired. Now, while I was away, I got a chance to sit down and connect with some leaders that I really respect in the space. One of those being Sal Khan. You guys know that we've done some things together before, but I want to let you guys know he is back in his zone. He is in his mode, doing some incredible things, and he's helped a lot of people. Some people that he's helped are even making thousands of dollars per day right now. And I said, man, I gotta see what you're doing. I gotta see what it's about. I was reluctant to look at the information at first, but I want to tell you guys, there's a lot of legitimate points to this that I believe makes this a standout opportunity. And I want to make sure you guys get all the information. So I didn't want to just, hey, give the information to you myself. I said, let's let the community hear the conversation that we have. So we jumped on Zoom and I talked with him. He talked back with me, shared with some things with me, some of his insight, what made him move forward, all of that type of stuff, man. And I want to tell you guys, you're in for a treat. And what I want to let you guys know, that I plan to build something absolutely amazing over here. I want to help as many people as possible because I think this opportunity can really be a game changer. Now, of course, guys, you know I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. Nothing in this video should be considered any type of financial advice. We're not even making any guarantees or anything. One of the things that Sal talks about in this video is making sure that you're taking on a healthy amount of risk. So there's some boxes that you want to check off when you're looking at opportunities, and I believe this opportunity checks off a lot of things for me, and I'm excited about what it's done for me and the results that I've been able to get. So I want to jump over to our conversation that we had already in progress, and Sal's going to break down the whole thing, what he's excited about, and how you can actually get involved in this as well.
Anthony, appreciate you having me on and introducing me again to your community. We are familiar faces. We are on this journey together. And for those of you guys that know about this space in our journey, you know we have so much that we've been through, the ups and the downs, the battle scars along the way, the lessons that we learn, and grow wiser to be able to find other opportunities that are not right or may check off more boxes that we're looking for. And so with all of the wins and losses we've been through, with all of the years of experience, with all of the chaos of this space of making a lot of money, losing a lot of money, we learn and we adapt. And in that, I've discovered something that started to grow. And it wasn't at the beginning where everything was like all hyped up and ready to go. It was kind of like, okay, this was brought to me by someone that I respect and someone that I know has done 8 figures. So, that's why I kind of got into it, but it's been a sleeping giant. It still continues to be a sleeping giant because only now, as we're getting this opportunity from the Eastern markets, from the Southeast Asia to the English-speaking market, is big leaders like Anthony looking at it and starting to see the potential of it. And I think it's because we're starting to see the numbers come up. And more than that, what spoke to me about this opportunity when I considered it, I needed to be able to answer, okay, why is this different than other opportunities? And what immediately stood out was that beyond, as we know, a lot of companies like to talk about future vision of what they're going to do someday, their roadmap of things. This one from day one was listed on CoinMarketCap, listed on Bybit, which is the second largest exchange in the world after Binance, listed on BitGet and Gate.io, which are also amongst the top exchanges, Mexi. So 3 of the top 10 exchanges in the world already listed their token called Pop Social. And more than that, they had 2 years of digital footprint of establishing their blockchain project, which is to be a Web3 social media that pays and rewards its users, not just its content creators. A great example of this is, imagine if TikTok only had content creators and no content consumers, and you have everyone just talking and sharing content, but nobody's actually engaging, liking, commenting, sharing, which is extremely valuable. But of course, do those people get piece of the pie, of the revenue stream, of the, tremendous amount of money that these platforms are making? They don't. So if you believe that your time, energy, and attention is worth something to these platforms, which it is, then this platform, Pop Social, which is the social media side, which is to be launched later this year, believes the same, and they want to reward us according to the amount of time and engagement and activities we do that we normally do already on these other platforms. So that's how we can begin to engage with this platform. But more than that, even before the social media side gets released, if I may share some of the results, because at the end of the day, we're here to find how we can make money with a project that is on the cutting edge, that is a real project. And this is what I like about it, which doesn't mean that there is no risk. It means that there is a healthy risk of a real effort to make a blockchain ecosystem that exists. And so I think all of us can accept a real business risk. What we don't want is the unintended, from day one, it was meant to fail kind of thing. So this is what I like about it is, sure, these numbers are nice. By the way, these are like day after day. So these aren't like, huge gaps in the middle. And I'll explain a little bit of the comp plan at a later point, but I like the comp plan as well because it's a steady growth. It's not a lot of money immediately, because it's not a percentage of your teammates' deposit. It's a percentage of their daily earnings, which has its own benefits as well. In summary, this is a passive opportunity where you're able to stake and earn 27% net per month. It's actually 30% gross, but minus fees. I'm doing the net for you, 27% net. We can start for as little as $100 of USDT on the Binance Smart Chain. We get paid not 5 days a week, which for some reason, some crypto platforms pay us 5 days a week. I never really understand that, but we get paid 7 days a week here. And we're able to earn each and every day. We're able to withdraw, not just each day, but multiple times a day. And one thing that's not even written here is the withdrawals take less than 1 minute to hit your wallet. Not only that, you get your principal back at the end of the staking period, which we're going to discuss can be as little as 10 days to 360 days. And there is a completely optional but very powerful check match referral program, which is extremely powerful. This is the staking side. Again, you can stake for as little as $100. For as little as 10 days, you'll earn 0.4% per day. And it says 12% because I just scaled it up to a month's time frame. So if you did that 3 times consecutively, it'd be a month, it'd be 12% a month. And I did that because if someone was considering, okay, should I do the 10-day staking or the 30-day staking? You can see the difference, 0.4% versus 0.5%, 12% over the course of a month versus 15%. And you have the 90-day staking, 0.6% a day, again, 7 days a week, 18% a monthly basis, 180-day staking, 0.8%, 24% a month. 360 days staking 1% a day, 30% a month. That's gross minus there's a 10% fee. So that's why it's 27% net. Withdrawals paid in 1 minute. Now, the part that I covered so far is going to be, I think, interesting for someone that's like looking at just the numbers. But then when you look deeper and say, okay, why is this real? Why is this sustainable? Why is this actually something that is a project that exists outside of just money in and money out? Well, they're listed on major exchanges. These are just some of them. And not only that, you can actually view their social media side, which is called Pop Social. Again, not yet fully live. They did do a beta launch last year and 500,000 people registered. Actually, this is outdated. I need to refresh this because it's saying the PPT price, which is their token, is 21 cents. And when I refresh, it should give you the most updated number, 30 cents. So you guys are getting to see that. Actually, when I joined it, it was under 10 cents. But it's only in this last month that things are getting more interesting and quite involved. Things are starting to really grow. So the premise of their social media side is a new era of social media. We think about why MySpace went out of style, and then there became a new type of social media, let's say Facebook, and then Facebook started to also become one of the dinosaurs. Now you have Instagram, and then Instagram also shifted to the latest model, which is TikTok, which tends to be, has a lot of immediate consumable content and a lot of other things. Like TikTok Shop is actually doing better than I think Shopify. And so you have these new features on new platforms. Well, imagine combining social media with blockchain. You have things like, NFT synthesis, being able to sign in with your wallet, ownership of your content, getting paid for the engagement that you do, and getting paid in a token of the platform called PPT. That what can you do with PPT? Well, here's some of the things. With PPT, you can process transactions, make purchases, unlock treasure chests, level up your account, and gain governance power. But more than anything, you can put it in your pocket. You can go to the exchanges and sell it. You can stake it and earn money on top of that. So here's just some of their roadmap of other things that they're doing, different partnerships that they're doing. Here's a little snippet of their social media side where this all of this will be rolling out, and we'll get a chance to not only be those that earn with the platform but use the platform as well. And right now we're getting ahead of that. So this is the white paper that you can actually get from popsocial.io. If you just click like right somewhere in the middle of the page, there's the white paper right here somewhere, light paper. You can click on that and then it'll bring you to here where you can read much more in depth about all of its like big picture vision. But I like this quote by Michael Shen, the CEO and founder of the social media side. So there's two big parts. Pop Social is the social media side. Pop Max is the kind of community building, network marketing, staking side. That's where we come in. That launched January 20th of this year. The Pop Social launched 2 years ago. You can check out their Instagram. There's posts from back like October of 2022 that they've been around. So also I like the fact that there's a digital footprint. So Michael Shen, he said this: we aim to decentralize the world's creativity the same way Ethereum decentralized the internet. Who is Michael Shen? It's this guy right here, US educated. He's been interviewed by Bybit themselves. And again, this video is from over a year ago. So again, it wasn't like, the company was established 2 weeks before the website went live and these people popped out of nowhere. There was a very strong presence that he's actually on LinkedIn as well. The company's also on LinkedIn. So you can find that. And also I've shared those links in our team Telegram. So Anthony can give you that as well. Now here is Coin Market Cap, the industry standard of where to go to look at the latest cryptos. And so we have Pop Social. You can look it up yourself, PPT, and you see the current price is 30. Again, when I got in, it was like under 10 cents. It was like 8 cents. In the last 24 hours, which by the way, when I started, 24-hour trading volume was like 800,000. I remember getting excited and telling the team, look, it crossed $1 million in trading. And now it's like $5-6 million a day consistently. So more than anything, of course, the coin's going to go up and down. But if you look at the overall trajectory of like 7 days, and it's just been very healthy. But more than that, it really doesn't matter about the token price because of how we get paid, which is an internal stable coin. So if the coin goes down, we get more of the coin to equal the same dollar amount. Or if the coin goes up, we get less of the coin to equal the same dollar amount. So that's why I haven't really pushed for the agenda of this is going to 10x and you want to buy and hold this. We're not here for that, or at least I'm not. I'm here for this: stake and earn, and this earning comes to you in that internal stable coin, and I'll explain more of exactly how that works. Now, the big selling point here is the fact, unlike most projects, and I've done many projects, as you guys may have seen and known, I can tell you it's a really strong project. It's listed on Bybit, on BitGet, on Mexi, on Gate.io, and they're working on other platforms like OKX and Binance because they have executives that used to work in those companies that are on this. And of course, guess what? When the platform grows, when there's hundreds of thousands of people, then naturally it's going to be a lot easier to get listed on those big platforms. Now, I created these flyers to help us understand the different staking periods and how the numbers work. So on the 10-day staking period, you're looking at 0.4% a day. All of the minimums are $100, which I really like because they could have said that in order for you to earn a higher percentage, you need to deposit a higher amount. It's not the case here. It's the same dollar amount, $100, and you choose how long you want to stake for. So depending on, that time frame of commitment, that you get higher amount. So someone who like stakes, let's say $300 at 10, 10 days at 0.4%, might earn less than someone who does $100 at 1% for 360 days. So again, it's up to you, but it also gives you the ability to determine how long you want to lock in your funds for. And at the end of that time frame, you get your principal back, which is the main point here. So you earn 0.4% a day, 12% a month, and withdraw profits daily. You can do this every single day. The minimum withdrawal is 100 PPT, so that depends on what the PPT price is for exactly what dollar amount is the minimum withdrawal. But overall, you earn 4% here. But 80% of people are not doing this or this or this or this. They're doing the 360-day 1%, 7% a week, 30% a month gross, or 27% a month net. And we're not even factoring compounding. Now, if you like that so far, which is the foundation of what they're doing as a blockchain project, the fact that they're listed, the fact that it's a really good passive program, daily pay, daily withdrawals, instant withdrawals, all that stuff. Guess what? Other people would like it as well. And that's where you have this optional referral program. And again, this is where I think it's been a sleeping giant because it's not a lot of money immediately. It starts to build up. It's like slowly, slowly, and then a whole lot at once. It's I mean, like if you looked at, it took me a long time to get to this kind of numbers, and then it started to really grow because the team started to get more activated. But now I've done a lot of foundational work to make it easier, like making this flyer. It was kind of complicated, and I've tried to distill this down, easy infographics that you can pass along. So the premise of the comp plan is this: it is a uh, matching on your team's daily profits. Everyone starts out as no rank, and you get 15% of all of your directs daily profits. So let's say if Anthony referred me, I came in, I deposited $1,000 for the 360-day 1%. So then I'm making $10 a day because on that, overall I would make 4,600 over the time, but I'm making $10 a day because it's 4,600 because 360 days plus you get your principal back. That's 3,600 plus 1,000. That's 4,600. But main point, I'm making $10 a day. Anthony would make a 15% matching, which is $1.50 a day. That every day I make $10. That's where things become scalable because if I start either adding more funds, compounding, referring, well, the referring comes when you unlock the second level, but if I start scaling up my own account, and not only will I make more, but Anthony will make a higher matching 15%. In order for you to open up level 2 and below, you need to reach the first rank, which is P1, which you need 3 direct referrals at 100 at minimum, and total collectively as a team, 30,000 team volume. What that does is it adds another 10% on your first level. So you have 15 plus 10, 25% on the first level, and level 2 and below, you have 10% until the last person on your team, or until you hit another P1 rank. So it's called the infinite differential. One of my favorite comp plans, by the way. It's also known as a gap comp plan. Now, one of the flaws with this comp plan is that if you match or a leader matches your rank, then let's say if Anthony referred me and he became, like, let's say at some point P3, and I then as one of his team also become a P3, then the differential will be 28% minus 28%. It would cancel out 0. But what's cool is that if you reach P5 and higher, and then I, as someone on Anthony's team, also reach P5, the differential, even though it would be 46 minus 46, you would still keep a 10% override from P5 rank to P9 rank. So once you reach that P5 rank, even if someone matches the same rank, you still get a 10% override. So you want to, get there for any serious leader, you want to get there. Anyway, now here's some other flyers that I made, which easy flyers to share on social media. You can find all these in our team Telegram, constantly making new ones and whatnot. Here's my back office. So far made 44,000, which is nice. But I know the potential here is 400 plus thousand. And why I say that is because this number right here, which is yesterday's earning of 934, guess what? The day before that was 925. The day before that was 914. The day before that was 904. The day before that was, I think, 868. And so like it's really beginning to, gain some traction there. Here's the interesting part. For anyone who's built teams, what kind of volume does it take to do this? And that's where it's surprising, because I know certain comp plans where you can do a lot of volume but not make a lot of money. I'm surprised that this was all done with under $1 million of volume, or not even 800,000. What that means is, in simple terms, per million, and again, depending on where you are, what caliber of team builder you are. I mean, you could say per 100,000 is $100 a day minimum. So per million is $1,000 a day. So if you want to extrapolate that even further to say, okay, what is 2 million? What is 3 million? What is 4 million? So again, total team growth. And so there's guys in Asia that are making $3, $4, $5,000 a day. In the English, and not just Asia, actually. Let me preface that. It's 4 countries that this is predominantly growing in: South Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and China. The first event was in Vietnam, and I and one of my guys were the only English-speaking people that was involved in terms of team building. In fact, they were missing, such an English audience. They were like, "Hey, we need an English representative to say something on the stage. Could you go up there, Sal?" I was like, "Okay, I didn't come, prepared for this, but I guess, because they're missing representatives from the European and English market." The second event is happening in South Korea, June 4th to June 7th, because that team is growing there as well. Guess what? What languages don't you see here? French, uh, Tagalog, any of the major South American Spanish, Portuguese languages. You see English, but it's not representative of like the U.S. market, Canadian market. So many missing markets, so many. It's up to us to determine how big we want to grow this. And so that's what I'll, oh wait, let me actually show you guys some other important things, if I may. So I have 200 and so some important things. When you go to stake right here, again, you can stake for as little as $100. One of the barriers to entry in the beginning was that you needed half of your staking amount in the company's token, which you needed to go to the exchange and go and buy on one of these platforms. So if someone was like kind of new to crypto, they're like, I don't have an exchange, or I need one of those exchange. I need to do all the setup there. Then they added this, which was actually at the Vietnam event, maybe end of April or yeah, something like that. So, and this button right here allows you to make the full deposit as USDT. So now instead of making, $50 in, so previously we would have to do $50 here and the other 50 as PPT. Now we can, with this, do the full amount as 100 or anything more than 100. By the way, you can do $101. You can do $137 or $2,036, any amount over 100. Then you choose 10-day, 30-day, 90-day, 180, 360. As I said, 80% of the company is doing 360 days. Then you slide this and make sure that there's some BNB in your wallet, and make sure that the amount of money is in your decentralized wallet, whether it be MetaMask or any other wallet that has Binance Smart Chain, and then you will create this NFT. For some interesting details about it, this was a $2,000 deposit. You're seeing 1,000 here, and the other 1,000 is represented as PPT. I didn't have to buy the PPT. The company bought it on my behalf. The reason for that is because they want to lock up some of the 200 million of these tokens, decreasing the supply. Not only that, they are burning 10% of the PPT that is staked. In this case, this was 3,647. So 10% of that is 364. 364, as I said right here, burnt, went to a black hole wallet. So what happens when you decrease supply and increase demand? So that's what's happening is people are starting to realize, hey, I need PPT to do the staking. So, more and more PPTs getting locked up day in, day out, whether they're on your team or not, it doesn't matter. Company wide, anybody who's doing the staking is helping to burn half of the 200 million down to 100 million tokens. So you can have various stakings. By the way, this is interesting right here. This is what happens after you finish a staking. I did a 10-day staking just to show my team this is what happens at the end of the staking period. You unlock it, you withdraw it. Now to just end with showing you this, I have $234, $35 here. I'm going to withdraw that. When I go to withdraw that, there is a 10% fee. So out of the 235, there's $23. PUSD, by the way, is the internal stable coin. It's 1-to-1 with USDT. Now, where does this $23 or 10% fee go? 90% of that goes back to us in a different income stream, which is as you do not withdraw your profit every day, you actually make profit on your profit, which is a secondary income stream. So you see, it goes into a pool. It automatically goes into a pool. In that pool, you earn not as high as the staking. So it's like a bit less, like 0.6 to maybe 1%. It varies a lot depending on other withdrawals of that day. And so collectively, I made $549 on my profit from the various days that I didn't withdraw it on this. Of course, if you withdraw it every single day, it's not going to have time to sit there. But maybe instead of doing withdrawal every day, you do it every 3 days or every week or something. I had a situation where someone from the day they logged in, they didn't even log in for like several months. And this was several $1,000s on their profit that they made on their profit. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and withdraw this $235. So I'm getting 212, which is after paying the 10%. I think I had some money in here before. That's why it's 221. So, by the way, yeah. So now it's in the form of PUSD. What can I do with PUSD? I can transfer it to any other wallet, a minimum of $1 or the full amount. I need the wallet address of the person. Immediately transfer, no fees, instant. Secondly, what I can do with PUSD is I can swap it. Now, if I want to use this money to restake it without withdrawing it, I can swap half of it. So I'm going to say just 110, just for easy math there. I swapped it into PPT. So now I have some PPT, which is the token of the platform and the token that's listed. And I have some PUSD, which is the internal stablecoin. Now, when I go to staking, if I wanted to compound it, it's a manual compound. It's not automatic compounding. By the way, don't get confused by this auto compounding. That just means at the end of your staking period, you want it to go back into another staking period in case you don't log in and whatnot. So it doesn't mean that today's profit will be compounded to tomorrow because the minimum staking is $100. So the point of what I was trying to make is that you can change the USDT, which is in your wallet, in your MetaMask or something, to PUSD, which is money inside. And now you can see it's registering that I have $111 here, right there. You can see the number right there. And then it will match it with, I need the other half as PPT inside of my account, not in my MetaMask or something. So then I can choose this, and now I can slide this and I can stake it. I can make another NFT without needing to withdraw. The final thing you can do with PUSD after you swap, now this time I'm going to swap the rest of it, is I can now, the same amount of money right here is not in stablecoin, which means that it won't go up or down. Now it's in PPT. Now it will go up and down. And in the upper left-hand corner, you can see the dollar amount that PPT is worth, which is now 30 cents. So if I leave it in there, if it goes up, this money will go up. If it goes down, this money will go down. So if I wanted to, now I'm going to withdraw the 737 PPT, which it's probably going to ask me to log into my Web3 wallet. And then once you log in there, make sure you have some BNB in there. I'm going to slide this. It's going to ask me to authorize in my wallet to send the funds there. Do I not have some BNB? Oh my gosh, I don't think I have some BNB. I have $1. Okay, so I'm going to send some BNB from my MetaMask. I hope I have some on there. I do. Okay. So I'm going to send some BNB from one of my wallets to another. And this is a good example of you needing BNB to authorize that transaction. And then we're going to see the PPT landing in my decentralized wallet in under a minute. So as that gets there, let me refresh this and do it again with the BNB having landed. And now 737 PPT at whatever the market value is, which is equivalent to that 200 and was it $21 or something like that, right? So you can add PPT to your wallet by going to this plus sign, typing in PPT, and then right there, it's the one with the purple with the eyes. Okay. Now, how much PPT do I have right now? I have zero PPT. 737 PPT is what I withdrew. So I'm just going to go back and just refresh this. And watch it land. It said failed here because I didn't have enough BNB there. And right there, 737 PPT, which is right there. Okay, now what can I do with PPT? Great, I have PPT in my wallet. What's the use of it? You can do one of few things. You can go to any of those decentralized or any of these exchanges that hold it. From your decentralized wallet, you can send it to a Bybit, BitGet, Mexi, and then you can swap it there. Or one thing that I've found that could be quite helpful is inside of your MetaMask or something, you have this swap feature. And for someone that doesn't want to be technical, but I think it might be cheaper. You might save on some fees, especially if you're doing a large amount. But to get the point, which is how do I swap this? You can swap PPT, and I'm just going to do 100 of it because I do use an exchange, but I'm going to do 100 of it. Okay. So that's 29. 100 is going to give me 29 USDT because like about 30 cents, so minus some fees, it's going to give me 29 USDT. So confirm, confirm, security test, I understand. Which by the way, also made our lives a lot easier because these are the things that were growing pains or difficulties. It was a lot of tech support. It was a lot of, okay, Sal, can you get on this Zoom with this person to help them set up their exchange and like they're ready to deposit and all these other steps that slowed down the growth of the business. So 35, you said that 35 jumped up to 29. So now I think 737 turned into 637 and I had no USDT. Now I have USDT on the Binance Smart Chain. So just wanted to give you kind of a quick overview of many aspects of it that I had to pick up along the way. It took me a long time to explain, I mean, like to understand these little pieces to now be able to explain it to you as quickly as I could. But just I see this as an amazing hidden gem of an opportunity. And I feel proud to bring it to you, not because there isn't any risk, but because there's a healthy amount of risk and a healthy amount of rewards. Outside of, any sort of getting drunk on the Kool-Aid, if we just look at the mathematics, it's 1% a day, meaning you mitigate your risk by 1% a day. And not just that, but actually, the chief marketing officer did some math. If you compounded to some effect, you could break even in about 2 months. Not to mention if you didn't refer. And so there's so many strategies to it. And so when I speak to any caliber of leaders, I'm like, we have something that's listed on, some major exchanges. That is, a lot more credibility than we had in most projects. So I think you guys will hear about it more and more. I'm delighted to give you this first exposure, but it will not be the last, and there'll be a lot more in-depth tutorials and trainings that we already have, and a lot more that I'm doing on a regular basis. But this is becoming a very, very enjoyable project, one that I think a lot of people are slowly waking up to. So thank you, Anthony, for allowing me to share this with your audience.
Man, this is incredible. I mean, that was an absolute master class right there, Sal, as always. I love it, man. I can tell. What I love is when somebody is really into what they're doing and what they're passionate about it. They know it, they've studied it, they're working it, down to even the graphics that you have created and everything. This is what is necessary if someone's going to take something to the next level. And I see this as one of those projects right now. Like you said, not that there's no risk, but that there's a healthy amount of risk here that people can come in and they can actually look at this and say, hey, look, I believe enough that I can come in and build something with this. And whether you're coming in passive, there's not many other places where you're going to earn 1% a day and it pays out instant withdrawals and all of that type of stuff. It's not many places that's going to do that for the long period. That also you could say that is, like you said, the tokens are listed on several exchanges, right? And that's also a powerful thing, is actively being traded on the exchanges. But it still presents an incredible opportunity because in the Western markets, if you want to put it that way, outside of the Eastern markets, there's not a lot of exposure, right? So it's like you're able to get a ground floor feeling with an established company,
Yeah,
right?
if I want to add to that, because the thing is, and I mean this genuinely, which is we don't know at the beginning of most projects, as good as it is theoretically, as much hype around it as there is, as big of leaders that come in, there could be platform issues. There could be other minutiae of things that makes it difficult to go through the process, back office issues, whatever it is. And you do all this preemptive building, pre-registration, all this other stuff, and then it's a flop. Or then it doesn't get off the ground and the ground floor opportunity stays on the ground. And so, to Anthony's point, yes, it's been out for a few months, but at the same time, with the amount of effort that I normally put in to have less than $1 million of volume, and and I want to prove this through a practical point for you, which is ask yourself, you watching, how many people have brought this opportunity Pop Max to you? Like, just ask yourself that. And if the answer is zero or one, or you could count it in, on your five fingers, it goes to show how virgin the market is, how open, how blue ocean it is. And yes, we live in a very noisy, ecosystem of bombarded with different opportunities, but our ability to cut through that noise to say, hey, is anything of your project listed on a major exchange? And if they come back with no, then it's something that um can be easily grabbing their attention. Um, there's so much more I want to dive into for you guys from the deeper trainings of how to maximize this, of comp plan understanding, of more of the back office and all these other things. Like, I made a great simple and just released today, fresh off the press of a distilled 4-minute video that goes through the onboarding process, the withdrawal process. I'll give it to Anthony for him to share it with you guys in his community. But these tools that are finally being created is what's going to help us scale. So again, you guys are coming at a time where it's going to be much easier to grow than when I got in. It was like, even after I joined this, I was looking for other projects because this didn't have the flair and it was complicated. It was a lot of steps and a lot of friction and all these other things. And then it was after that Vietnam event that, with the, some of the features being added and other things, I was like, okay, well, people are bringing me other projects, but actually when I compare it back to this thing, actually this one has a better passive side. It's listed. It's better comp plan. It pays instantly. And when I do the calculation, I'm like, wait a second, I should just focus on this instead of something else. So anyway, as you can see, I'm quite passionate about this because I see it as something that um, the hardest part, honestly, is getting it through to someone, and like just being able to explain to them, because once they listen, once they like, oh my God, it's listed. Oh my God, this is the passive side. This is the compound. It's just, I find it that if you just send them the information, they may not get to it. And so that's where connections and friendships and having a that high touch aspect of it, if people actually go through the content, or you get them on a Zoom, the closing rate is very high.
I absolutely agree, and I think this is one of those ones that is going to require a little bit more of the like you said, the personal touch to it. Like they always say, high tech and high touch
Yeah.
is a part of both things. But I think this is something that once people grasp it, they're going to fall in love with it, right? And they're going to love the way that it's working. And so I'm excited about that. One of the things that stood out to me that you said was that I had somebody that come back to me after months. And that's one of the things that is rare that you get to experience in this space as of late, right? And so when you say, well, look, after months, someone came back to me and they logged into their account. And
Yeah.
so I want people to experience that. Like, hey, look, I've been operating with this. I come back after months, and here's what I have sitting in my account. And this
Yeah.
is what has happened for me, and they're excited about that. So that is powerful, and we definitely got to get you back on. I know we could do some trainings, some different things together to get people started, to get people acclimated, and to show people how to take this to the next level and to maximize the opportunity. So, man, this is incredible. I thank you so much for doing this to the community. I don't want to stretch it out too long because I want everybody to be able to listen to everything without getting Zoom fatigue. But absolutely, man, I thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know it's a totally different time there where you are right now. And
Yep.
I really appreciate you as a brother, just coming in and being willing to share with my community as well.
Always for you and your community. Just very honored. And above all, I ask everyone to dive into it. Just at the very least, take a deep look and then decide. That's all I'm asking because I think you may be pleasantly surprised. I followed up with some people, and only when they looked into it and they're like, wow, this is nice. And so, just look deeper into it. And then, whatever you do, I think make the healthiest decision for yourself, but give yourself the chance to make an informed decision. That's all.
That's it, man. Well, once again, I want to thank you so much. And everybody that's listening to this, I'm going to put this in our communities and everywhere so that you can dive into the information. Feel free to reach out to me if we need to do some personal Zooms. I'm willing to do whatever to get people set up and get people acclimated with this. And I know I can reach out to Sal whenever I need any help or any assistance with anything. So I'm excited. Thank you so much, Dom, for getting us on and connecting us and everything. So that's absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate you too, brother. We're going to take this thing all the way to the top and make something incredible happen.
Amen.
All right.
Peace out.
So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and end this Zoom now. Reach out to me if you all have any questions. Until the next video, you guys have an absolutely phenomenal day, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.